And now the Randall Stores of Southern Minnesota, your family shopping headquarters, present the Bandwagon. From the studios of Channel 12 is the Bandwagon, brought to you this evening by the Randall Stores of Southern Minnesota. Each week, Randall's brings you a favorite band of our upper Midwest with your favorite old and new style music. Nice music by the Christy Hengel Band from New Ulm. Musical bandmaster Chuck Bassett.
Well, thanks a lot, and good evening, everyone, and welcome aboard the Bandwagon program. Nice to have you with us, and we're happy to be speaking on behalf of the Randall Stores again, located in southern Minnesota with stores in Mankato, New Ulm, Fairmont, and Waseca. And we're happy to be bringing you another 30 minutes of old-time music. Got some great selections tonight. Christy Hengel and his group are here with us this evening, and we're going to take a look at a few relics that come to us from the field of old-time entertainment, music particularly. Got a couple of old relics sitting up there in the front row if you want to take a look close, and they've been around for a little while too. But all in all, it's going to be a good time here at the studios. Lots of good old-time music, and we hope you stick with us and enjoy the program because it's designed especially for you. Got a number of requests we're going to be looking at too, and some words from the Randall Stores. Always happy to speak on their behalf, but what do you say we get rolling with the music first off? And here's Christy Hengel and the All-Stars with the Tempo Polka. To start us out this evening, Christy Hengel and his all-star band, and the title of that one was the Tempo Polka. Got a nice waltz coming up, one of those good old-timers that's been around for a long time and always pleasant to hear it. But first, let's take a look at a few dedications for Effie Schwitzker of Paul Waltz. to take you back across the years. The St. Paul Waltz, a real old-timer and evergreen. Used to hear it a lot. You hear it occasionally now. But it's still a great number and a good one to listen to and to dance to. This is the Bandwagon program that you're listening to, brought to you by the Randall Stores of southern Minnesota. Stores located in Mankato, New Ulm, Fairmont, and Waseca. And I want to remind you that we've got some great music coming up in the very near future. September the 5th, Les Schuft and his Country Dutchman. The All-Star Parade of Bands on September the 12th, and then the Jolly Ramblers will be with us on September the 19th. Okay, well, let me see here. We've got to tell you a little bit about Randall Stores, and it's always a pleasure to talk about those. Right there they are, the picture. Let me hold that, Christy, and you tell you
from 1914 with his three-piece band.
All right, let me start that all over again. See if they can get that. Now, tell us again what this is.
John Wilford with his three-piece band in 1914.
And
who doesn't turn it this way a little more? There's the one. There's the camera.
Who doesn't know of Whoopi John Wilford? Huh?
That's right. And this is a concertina that played what's on that picture I'm holding here. I'm playing, and then the cornet is right here. So 1909, Ed Kretz owned this at New Ulm. He played with Whoopi John. And the clarinet got disposed of, Eddie Wolford, that's on the top picture, Eddie, that's Whoopi John's brother. That was disposed of in 1917. So two instruments survived it from all those years back.
How'd you happen to get a hold of these?
Oh, it took something.
It's a long story.
I had to use a magnifying glass on the picture that identified his concertina. This point arrow right here, it's further apart than the other three, and it shows it right on the picture, and it's got the bolt in the front.
I see. You had to do a little
I bought out the factory that made this old concertina.
Oh, I see. Okay,
Yep.
fine. Well, that's a picture goes back across the years, and everybody, of course, remembers Whoopi John with his great old-time band. I think he made old-time really famous in this part of the very commercial band.
Oh,
well, you're going to play a number now, aren't you?
We're going to play a number.
On the concertina.
On the cornet's going to be played by Dr. Marvin Cayley back here. I'm going to hand the horn to him now, so he'll be playing the number with this here.
All right. See that, now, Doc, see that Christy gets that back again. Don't make off.
He said he put it in the garbage can before. I said, where is it?
Oh, you can't do that. What are you going to play?
We're going to play the Helena Polka.
All right, let's see what the Helena
did in 1929.
All right, fine. It'll take us back across the years.
For that, just like that.
All right, let's go.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Get it up.
Well, there we go. Hey, that took it back across the years, didn't it? Title of that one was The Hell of a Polka. That's the Whoopi John Hula arrangement of that. And we featured Christy, of course, on the original concertina, and Doc Haley on the original cornet. And that gave it some of that old-time flavor that goes back across the years. The Bandwagon Show is what you're watching, brought to you by the Randall Stores. And a few more requests now. Do one for the wedding anniversary of Mr. and Mrs. Emil Groskowski of Amboy. They're celebrating their 39th. Waltz. And this time we've got a very pretty Landler, I think, that you're going to enjoy. It's entitled Moeller's Landler. Okay? Number. The title of that one is Moeller's Landler. Just a wonderful number. Great tune, wonderful listening and good dancing to that tune. Moeller's Landler and Hula Rye style on the Bandwagon Show tonight. While Christy dropped by and he let off a number of requests, I'm going to take a look at these for you now, Christy, okay? For Minnie Hacker on her birthday, which was the 7th of August, 92 years old, requested by Audrey and Jerome. And a number for a couple of very faithful listeners in West Bend, Iowa, Mrs. Lucille Learned and Annie Christensen. For Darwin Black's birthday, August the 14th, for Alvin and Alice Klein of Montgomery and their son T.J. Leona Casper's birthday, which will be the 31st of August. She's from Medford. Mrs. Addie Hengel of Sleepy Isle, Laverne and Marilyn Wanis of Owatonna, Milton and Viola Johnson of Wasika, and Darlene Fierst and her hubby of Faribault. So we send those requests out very special to those folks, courtesy of the band here and courtesy of Christy. Also, we want to say hello to Mrs. Meza Cruzy of Sanborn on her 95th birthday, for John and Myrtle Cruzy of Glencoe, Mildred Cruz of Redwood Falls, Lois Breitkreutz of Renville, Norma Berg of Redwood Falls, and Diana Cruz of Sanborn. Well, yes, it's time for us to go back to a polka, and this time we're going to put Christy to work. He's going to do a little solo work on this one, and it's a nice polka. I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. Featuring Christy then on Bernie's Polka. Okay.
Got a special dedication for Elmer Scheid of New Ulm, and also for Herr Loffelmark in Geneva of New Ulm, and our great bass horn player back here tonight. That's Gary over here, Gary Schrader. It's his first time I ever played in front of that guy, and he does a good job on that bass horn. How about that, Gary? Let's give him a nice big hand for Gary. Plays super bass horn there. His brother Bob plays awful good, but he plays just as good. Here we go with Bernie.
Tell you what I got to say. I got to say that was a great number, well done by Christy, and I think he deserves a good round of applause on that. A nice concertina solo. The title of that one was Bernie's Polka. You don't hear that too often, but it's a very, very pretty polka. Nice to hear it here on the Bandwagon program. Nice to be speaking to you folks, too, on behalf of the Randall stores. I mentioned a little while ago about the full-service feature at your Randall stores, almost around the clock, any one of the stores. You can shop there with the fullest of confidence in getting high-quality merchandise, and you must be satisfied or your money back. Remember that these are the days that we're spending outdoors. Old Man Winter's trying to sneak around the corner, and we're trying to get in as much of that outdoor barbecuing and picnicking as we possibly can, and that's where you can rely on your Randall stores. They'll never let you down, never fail. You shop your Randall store, the full-service store with all kinds of service, those little things that really count, those niceties that make you want to come back again and again to the Randall store in your area. So be sure to visit them. They make the Bandwagon possible, and let them know that you watch the Bandwagon program. The Randall store on Park Lane here at Mankato, and also the Randall store at New Ulm, Fairmont, and Waseca. You be sure to stop in and see those folks and get what you need at your nearby Randall store. Got a couple more requests. Viola Strand of New Richland celebrating a birthday on the 2nd of September, and we've got a request here for Mylan Marker, says my husband, for his 86th birthday, and also for Annie for her 58th birthday. And then we want to do number 2 for Fred Fritchie, who's celebrating a birthday. This request comes from New Ulm, so we'll be sure to get it on tonight, okay? Well, there it is, and we're going to dedicate that number to a lot of other folks, too, because we've got the Red Raven Waltz coming up. Here's Christy and the band and the Red Raven Waltz. Pretty number, Red Raven Waltz, played by Christy Hengel and his old-time all-stars here on our Bandwagon program. So I want to remind you again about the fact that we videotape the program every Monday night a little after 8 o'clock and reissue that invitation. You're always welcome to come on out here and join us, and I want to go through that schedule with you now on September. Here we've got one that kind of a little bit out of place for the summertime, but good for the wintertime, the Snowflower Polka, okay? Bandwagon program has been presented for your viewing pleasure by the Randall Stores of southern Minnesota, headquarters for all your shopping needs. The stores in Mankato, New Ulm, Fairmont, and Waseca. Join us again next week at the same time when you'll see and hear the Country Dutchman from Hutchinson, Minnesota. And until that time, remember that this week, like every week, is a good week to shop and save at your nearby Randall store. Chuck Pasek speaking on behalf of Christy and the All-Stars, the gang here at Channel 12, and all the folks at the Randall stores, hoping you have a great week. See you next week, same time. So long now.